What is up, everybody? Appreciate you guys tuning in to the show. Today we're talking UFC Vegas 35 Barboza versus Chikadze. I think we got a pretty sweet main event coming at us. Good card overall. I really look forward to breaking down the entire thing. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of that like button. Let's get at least 195 likes on today's full card breakdown. I'm excited. I think there's some betting spots. I think there's some really good fights. Ultimate Fighter finale as well in the mix. So should be a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody watching live, everybody on replay as well. Much love to everybody tuning in to today's show. Let's go. Let's get into it. Martinez versus Guido Cannetti. It starts the night off here in the bantamweight division. On one side with Martinez, you have a guy who's a pretty exciting striker. Lots of forward pressure. He's pretty slick as well because he is able to fight out of both stances. Pretty good low kicks from range, and he does mix it up with the hands. And he's got knockout wins. This guy's definitely a finisher. Unfortunately, was on the Contender Series, lost to Draco there. Made his way back, 2 straight knockout wins. He now fights Guido Cannetti here. He was actually supposed to originally Martinez fight Trevin Jones last week, but now he's fighting this week against Guido Cannetti, who's an older guy, 41 years of age. He's been in this game for a long time now. He's a tricky southpaw, definitely has some solid striking skills and mixes up his low kicks nicely in with the attack with the hands. But I really feel like he's hittable. He's older. Martinez, 25, his opponent, 41. Guido Cannetti knocked out in his last fight. When you see an older guy get finished, it's usually downhill momentum. So I think Martinez is going to sleep Guido Cannetti in the second round here. 41-25, explosive striker. I like what I'm seeing out of Martinez in this matchup. Now, we will check out the accurate odds. Right now, Topology has it minus 350 to plus 270, but I will bring up fight odds as well to give you guys more in-depth look. Our first fight of the night, Cannetti, Leo Martinez. Martinez minus 318 at best value, plus 278 at best value for Cannetti. I think that it's going to be a Martinez win, and I think the fight ends inside the distance. That's sitting at minus 160 for a prop as well. But we'll go Martinez to start the night off. Let's keep on moving up the card. Pat Sabatini versus Jamall Emmers. You know, when I originally had saw this fight, I was thinking, man, Sabatini as an underdog seems like a solid play. This guy's a beast of a wrestler. But the more I looked into it, Jamall Emmers is not an easy guy to take down. He has 100% takedown defense accuracy. Sabatini doesn't have a chance striking here. You look at Jamall Emmers, split decision loss to Chikadze. You look how good Giga's done. It shows Jamall Emmers' striking game is nasty. He's a very slick kickboxer. He fights well from the range. He has a reach advantage of 4 inches in this fight. Pretty diversified attack. Will attack the body, the legs, the head with punches. And he also is pretty physically strong. He also has a wrestling background too. Sabatini, tricky with his wrestling skills, and when he's on top, he is ferocious. But in this matchup here, he's a decent striker, but I think he's outstruck. He's really relying more on power and athleticism versus a guy who's athletic, powerful, and more technically sound. I like Jamall Emmers win by a decision, our second fight of the night. He is a slight favorite in this matchup, sitting at best value minus 136 to Sabatini at plus 130 as the underdog. Fight goes the distance, minus 210. Fight inside the distance, plus 160. I like fight goes the distance, and I like Jamall Emmers winning it by a decision. Expect a pretty impressive striking display by him. Let's keep on moving up. Aldrich versus Vanessa Demopoulos here. So on one side, Aldrich, first thing, naturally the bigger girl. You look at Vanessa, formerly fighting at 115. That was her last bout. Now jumping to the women's flyweight class versus Aldrich, who's tricky with, an awkward stand-up style. She fights out of the southpaw stance, but on the ground is where she shines so well. Has very good takedowns against the cage. Lots of top-heavy forward pressure. She's not going to be easy for the smaller Vanessa Demopoulos. Vanessa's a scrappy Thai style of striker. She does fight pretty well in the close range. Decent low kicks. Solid combination puncher. Nice little jab overhand combo, but in this matchup here, I think the size is a factor. 5'5" versus 5'1", longer reach, more naturally heavier girl. Demopoulos has been taken down in the past. This matchup here, I think, really plays off well for JJ Aldrich. I'm going to pick JJ Aldrich. She wins here, and I do believe probably more so decision. Could she potentially get a submission? It is possible, though I don't think extraordinarily likely. You see losses there for Demopoulos against decent girls, losing by decision. JJ Aldrich, bigger, a lot of control, but I don't think she gets the finish here. Aldrich win by a decision, odds-wise, for that fight. Big, massively widespread, minus 339, plus 284. I think you got to go Aldrich decision. Props on that one might not be looking too good, but they're not all dropped yet. If you get it early enough, maybe you check tomorrow morning if they're up. You could potentially make some cash there. Whenever you're watching, check where the odds are. We will break it down farther in this week's Best MMA Bets, so make sure to tune into that. We'll talk about the PFL and the UFC betting. We're going to go deep with it, as we always do. But let's talk about this next fight here. It is light heavyweight action. Dustin Jacoby versus Darren Stewart. You know, Dustin Jacoby is a pro kickboxer. He's got nasty kicks from range to the body, to the head, to the legs. Darren Stewart, powerful MMA striker, does have some knockout power in the hands, but I feel like in this matchup, the pure size of Jacoby alone is going to be a factor. Fighting as a pro kickboxer is going to be a factor. I think Stewart will potentially want to bang a bit here with Jacoby, maybe put himself out of position. I see the boxing skills of Jacoby being a factor. I think he's going to get a second round knockout of Darren Stewart here. He's the bigger guy. Stewart moving up. I mean, in his last one he lost, it was against Eric Anders, who's naturally a middleweight. Prior to that, though, they had a no contest, and he was nearly knocked out. I think Jacoby finishes the deal, puts him to sleep here in the second round. Should be a good win for Dustin Jacoby. Odds-wise, minus 185. The plus 169. I like Jacoby here. And I think fight ends inside the distance, minus 105. That could be a potential play. Should be a fun fight, though. I'm really excited for this light heavyweight matchup. Smash that like button if you guys have not yet. Still moving on up the card. We are talking about this next one. It is Sam Alvey versus Wellington Turman. I like this matchup. I actually think we're in store for a pretty interesting fight, because I would call it crossroads. 10-year age gap. Sam Alvey, old, looking on his way out. Turman, maybe not the prospect some people had originally thought he was. He's a nasty jiu-jitsu fighter, has very good submissions, but hasn't been able to really unload them the same inside of the UFC, especially his last two, losing by knockout in the first round. Sam Alvey, coming off a loss in his last fight, was against Julian Marquez. It was by submission, but does he go out and get submitted here by Turman, the younger guy of the two, but less professional experience by a long shot? And Alvey, he's an awkward striker. He's got power in his hooks, and they come from weird angles. You look at Turman, potentially gets hurt by punches. Granted, the guys who did hit him have a bit of pop. Good jiu-jitsu skill set and solid submissions, but in this matchup here, it's not going to be easy with Sam Alvey. I think it's competitive throughout. I think Sam Alvey will be scrappy, will mix it up well inside. You know, maybe luck has it. I don't know if that's lady luck. I just hit the mic, but I'm feeling like we might see Sam Alvey for an upset in this matchup. I want to see them face off at the weigh-ins to make my true final pick, but right now I'm leaning dog. I haven't been superbly impressed by Turman, but I definitely think that Alvey at 185, it's going to be hard for him. Toss-up fight here. We'll lean Alvey to start it off, and should be an interesting matchup either way. Alvey plus 132 dog. Turman minus 140 favorite. Fight goes the distance. That's sitting at minus 140. If it were to be Alvey to win, it would probably be on a close decision in this fight. But can he stop the takedown? That's definitely a tricky one here. Let's move up to the next fight of the night. Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Alessio di Chirico. So this fight right here is interesting, because Abdul Razak Alhassan is a power puncher, judo background, but really he comes inside with explosive hook combinations, looks for the knockout. On the other side, Alessio di Chirico is a pretty decent kickboxer. He's got nasty high kicks from the mid and long range. He knocked out Joaquin Buckley, who had the knockout of the year, with like a knockout of the year style knockout. I think this is a really hard fight for Abdul Razak Alhassan. He's 36. He's now moving up a weight class. He just seems like guys are a bit better than him here. Like, I don't know. He lost to Malhoun, who's not extremely experienced. Chirico's been in a lot of fights, and this is going to be a hard look for him against a bigger guy. I think Chirico works towards a finish here, potentially stops a fading Abdul Razak Alhassan in the second round. I like Alessio Chirico knockout, round number 2. Let's see what the odds are looking at there. Chirico minus 200. Abdul Razak plus 199. You want to play the inside the distance, it would be minus 120, pretty close. Definitely some decent odds there, but I'll take Alessio Chirico for the win here. Next fight of the night brings us to the main card. It is Gerald Meerschaert versus Makhmud Muradov. I think we're in store for a showcase fight. Seems like Gerald Meerschaert's becoming the showcase opponent. Granted, his last fight pulls off an upset win over Bartosz Fabinski. It was by a first-round submission. Gerald Meerschaert is a tricky submission specialist. On the ground, you have to be cautious stand-up-wise. He's a bit rangy, but he gets caught by quicker punchers. Makhmud Muradov actually has a pretty good striking skill set. He's a pretty slick kickboxer. He mixes in takedowns well with his combination punching. On the ground, very heavy pressure style on top. I think he's a really tricky fight for Gerald Meerschaert. I think that Makhmud is somebody to potentially keep an eye on as a fun little prospect here. Even though he's 31, middleweight division, that's still young. And I think that Makhmud Muradov gets a second-round TKO of Gerald Meerschaert. Odds are wide, but I think it's because there's definitely some potential hype on Makhmud. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table in this fight, and I think he'll have a pretty solid performance. Minus 400 favorite to the plus 389 dog, Gerald Meerschaert. Should be a pretty good one. Let's check this out. Plus 265 for fight goes the distance. Minus 385 for fight inside the distance. Interesting. I like Muradov, though, to win here. Second round knockout. Next fight of the night, some Ultimate Fighter veterans from this recent season. If you guys didn't watch it, maybe binge watch it, because I actually think it's worth a watch if you like high-level fights. There's been a lot of good ones. I cannot wait. I think that this matchup here is a showcase for Petroski. Michael Gilmore showed no grappling skills on the season. He was quickly submitted by Urbina. He didn't show a lot. He came in on short notice. He wasn't a big part of the season, only having, a couple moments. Dana White's doing him a favor, giving him a shot in the UFC. Quit his job for the Ultimate Fighter chance. He gets tapped out quick, taking the fight on such short notice. I respect Dana White for signing him up, but he's fighting a beast in Andre Petroski. They're not getting him some easy fight. He's fighting a guy in Petroski who has strong wrestling skills, heavy top pressure, good ground and pound, submissions from the top. Gilmore, a guy who struggles with submissions. You look at 3 of his pro losses, submission. His loss on The Ultimate Fighter, submission. This is a matchup between Petroski and a guy who struggles on the ground, and Gilmore. I think it's Petroski's submission, and I think it's probably in the first round here. I think he's going to run through Michael Gilmore. And even though Petroski didn't win on The Ultimate Fighter, he's a fun guy to watch. And I am excited for his potential here moving forward at 185. Maybe he could get down to 170. I don't know if he could, but I do think he's a fun little prospect to watch. And I think he beats Michael Gilmore here by submission in the first round. Odds-wise, they agree. They are widespread for Petroski, sitting at minus 368 to plus 320. I like Petroski, and I also like submission. We'll talk about it on this week's Best MMA Bets. We'll go deep with the submissions because definitely think there will be some. Next fight of the night. It is Kevin Lee, the Motown Phenom, taking on Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez. I'm happy that we get to see Kevin Lee back in action, but let's be honest, this is a hard fight. D-Rod has good takedown defense, nasty striking skill set. He's also a southpaw. He's got power in his hands. He rips it to the body well. You look on the other side, Kevin Lee is a bit hittable with straight punches. I don't know. I feel like he stands a little bit too square sometimes, and his head not moving as much as it should, especially at welterweight against a big guy in Daniel Rodriguez. Granted, Lee is a pretty athletic kickboxer with, wrestling skills that are top of the line. I mean, he definitely, if he gets on top of you, he's tricky to deal with. He's had good fighters on their backs. If he gets you down, it's going to be hard. But granted, up a weight class against bigger guys, I'm not liking the odds of that. He's smaller in this matchup physically, shorter, 5'9" to 6'1". Kevin Lee cannot figure out making weight at 155 pounds. What was the last fight? It was a loss to Oliveira, and he also missed weight. He's more built for that weight class. Fortunately, he's a little bit on the smaller side for 170. I think Daniel Rodriguez is going to beat Kevin Lee here. He's an underdog. I like D-Rod in this fight a lot here. Plus 133, Kevin Lee, minus 142. From what I've seen of Lee lately, I do not believe he's going to win this fight. I think we're going to see a win for Daniel Rodriguez by decision over Kevin Lee. Odds-wise, fight goes the distance, minus 115. I think it will. Inside the distance, minus 125. I think we're looking at a fight that goes the distance, and a win for Daniel Rodriguez should be a fun little matchup here, though. But let's keep on moving up the card. Ricky Turcios versus Brady Hiestand, the Ultimate Fighter bantamweight finale fight here. The winner will be the tournament champion. It's something that I am excited for because I was so impressed by both the guys this season. I mean, you look at Ricky, pretty exciting striker. I'd call him a warrior. I mean, this guy, gives you like the Tony Ferguson vibe, some people have said. Lots of forward pressure with his striking. He's never taking a step back. He takes good shots, shown high levels of durability. Nasty game. He mixes it up with punches and elbows coming inside. Heavy low kicks. Good takedowns. Good takedown defense. Heavy top pressure. Nasty jiu-jitsu. His scrambles are very good. He was able to beat Ludovic Chanel-Leon on the season, who I hold in very high regard. That was an impressive win. Dan Argueta as well. You look at Brady Hiestand. I mean, he's a very skilled grappler. In the semifinal round to advance to the finals, he finished Vince Murdoch easily, and he's just 22. So there's a ton of hype behind Brady coming in here, especially as an underdog. I see why people would want to jump on him. He is a killer from top position. But I don't think you can do that to Ricky Turcios. And Ricky's ready for 3 rounds. He's going to win this one. I think Ricky Turcios win by a decision, and he becomes the ultimate fighter this season for this bantamweights. I'm super excited for it. Ricky Turcios should get the W. Now, odds-wise, he's sitting around a minus 170 favorite to the plus 159 dog, Brady Hiestand. We'll see what the props are at when they come out. Fight goes the distance, minus 165 to plus 125. I think fight goes the distance, and I think it's a win for Ricky Turcios. He becomes the ultimate fighter. Definitely a fun prospect to watch. I've become a personal fan of him, and I also do like Brady as well. I think both have bright futures in the UFC. Next fight, Bryan Battle versus Gilbert Urbina, the Ultimate Fighter middleweight finale here. I'm excited, guys. I have personal interest. I watched the season. It was supposed to be Tresean Gore versus Bryan Battle. Tresean's out. Who better to bring in than Gilbert Urbina, who originally lost to Tresean on the show. He was knocked out, but he looked tough in that fight. He got caught by a big punch, put to sleep. He was losing, but tons of heart out of him. Hot prospect. His brothers have all been through the show and unfortunately never found the success. He fights Bryan Battle, who I don't know if any of you guys feel the same. Kind of gives you Forrest Griffin vibes. The man is a pretty good kickboxer, but wrestling base, and it's nasty. Good submission skills. Choked out Petroski on the season. That was extremely impressive to me. He keeps a high pace as well. Good head kicks. The kid is very skilled and has high potential. On the other side, Gilbert Urbina is not going to be easy to deal with. Striking-wise, he's very light on his feet. He's a rangy kickboxer. He's a little bit taller than Bryan Battle in this fight. Solid grappler, good submission skills himself. I think Battle is going to put the pace on him, though, here. I think we're looking at 3 good rounds, and I think in the end, Bryan Battle will become our ultimate fighter. But as I said with the other two, I think both have UFC potential and futures, and I'm excited for both of them. Became a fan of these guys. Bryan Battle, though, should be victorious, and I do believe he wins it by a decision in a fight that I am honestly super excited for. He's a minus 158 favorite, plus 149 dog. I think Bryan Battle is the play here. I think he wins this fight against Gilbert Urbina. And let's talk about the main event of the evening. If you guys have not yet, smash that like button. It is Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze. Superb matchup here that I am so happy that we get to see. As a fan of striking and mixed martial arts, this should get you guys pumped, amped. This is the highest of levels, really, as far as technical striking goes in this featherweight division. I mean, these guys are the upper echelon. If Barboza wins, he's very close to a title fight. Chikadze, well on the way there if he wins as well. Chikadze, southpaw, stance switches. He's extremely technical as a kickboxer. He was a pro, and you see that when he brings it into the MMA game, but he transitions it. You look at other guys that came from kickboxing into, the mixed martial arts game. They try to transition their game. It doesn't work right. This guy has, and it took some time. He's developed good grappling defense. He fights very well from the mid and long range, able to avoid strikes. But in this matchup, you're fighting Edson Barboza, who's a legendary striker in mixed martial arts. Legacy at lightweight. It's top of the line. I mean, this guy has fought a who's who, very fast hands. He looks better than ever at 145, beating the brakes off of Shane Burgos in the last one. The way he let the hands fly was off the charts. Nasty low kicks, dangerous overhand punches. And honestly, I think that this is the best Barboza we've seen, and he's 35 years of age. And I think he has about a year and a half left of this peak level performance. Giga Chikadze is damn good, but he's not going to be able to beat Edson Barboza here. I think Edson Barboza wins this fight by a decision over the hottest of striking prospects, Giga Chikadze. I think we're in store for a special fight that I genuinely cannot wait to see. This is the main event, really, of the month for me. I am amped for this fight. Barboza minus 105, Chikadze minus 102. I think fight probably is going 5 rounds, and I think it's minus 105 for fight goes the distance, ends inside the distance, minus 135. Let's go. Barboza for the W. Guys, I do want to give you more, though. I don't want to just send you off there, as we always do. We got to talk a bit on the parlay side of things. Let's get into some potential plays. Also, guys, tomorrow we'll be dropping those PFL predictions, so stay tuned on the channel for that. But let's talk UFC, a parlay. One that I have that I feel confident in playing. We're going to go Bryan Battle. We're going to go Andre Petroski. And we're also going to go... do I want to jump on Mana? I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Before we commit to that. And Dustin Jacoby. That's the one. This is it right here. This is my riskier play. Plus 228 money. It's Bryan Battle, Andre Petroski, and Dustin Jacoby. I love it. And it's definitely a potential play for me. If you take Battle out, it would still be plus money for Jacoby and Petroski. Overall, I think this is a potential hitter. Just to get a little bit of crazy, if we had to add some others to it, who could potentially be in? If you add Rodriguez and he wins that fight as an underdog, you'd be up at plus 638 for an underdog play. If you add Aldrich, who should be a clear path to victory, but it's women's MMA, so high risk, plus 322. And let's see who else we could potentially play here. If you added Makhmud, who definitely has a high chance of winning, plus 310, I'd say that's another good one. And if you added in Rodriguez as a dog, plus 823. So there's definitely some money to be made on this card. Those are some parlays for you guys. Some money to cash, because the card's going to be sweet. Let me give it a score. Overall, if I had to judge this card, I'm saying this is an A card. And it could be my bias because I was hype about the Ultimate Fighter season and I watched it all. But for me, this is an A card. Let's get it, guys. Smash that like button if you guys haven't yet. As I said, I need at least 195 likes on this video. Much love to my people tuning into the show. Shout out to everybody that's here. I'm glad you guys were able to tune in live. I will chat it up for a bit. But yes, smash the hell out of the likes, guys. What are locks in the card? The parlay is the lock for me. You want to take Battle out because you're more worried about him. I think you could potentially take him out. But I feel like those are my locks there. Muradov, Aldrich, Mana. And Mana's another one that you could potentially play. That's definitely someone that I was considering adding. So I guess we'll throw it in real quick for a riskier one. Let's see. If we did add in Mana Martinez. Where is Mana? Am I losing it? Here we go. Plus 427 if you went Petroski, Jacoby, Battle, Makhmud, and Mana. If you're feeling real good, you also add in underdog play Daniel Rodriguez. You'd be at plus 1,000 money for that one. Big score. If you added women's, J.J. Aldrich plus 1425. Like, you can get crazy here, and it could happen. Say, oh, I want Barboza plus 2,000, but that'd be extremely high risk. So really, it's up to you guys if you want to take it that far. Yeah, I think that Lee will be forced to stand, and I think that he'll struggle there. Demopoulos, the reason I'm not going to be sprinkling her is simply because the size disadvantage. No, that's just a potential Hail Mary play, bro. I'm not going to be putting Aldrich on any of my real parlays there unless I go for like a wild one and I just want to add somebody. But at minus 300, as you said, it's not really great value. I would like to see the odds come a little closer. Minus 250, minus 225. That'd be sweet there. But yeah, it's just because Demopoulos is coming in from not being in the UFC to now jumping in the UFC. They got the odds a little bit heightened up. Locks are D-Rod and Barboza for you. I like it. I like it. How is Gilmore in the UFC? I love the guy, but I'm confused. The reason they gave Gilmore the fight in the UFC is because he took that short notice fight, man. Dana really did appreciate that. This guy stuck around, and he said, let's go. And he unfortunately didn't get to show a lot. You think Giga over Barboza? I respect that pick. I think Giga's an excellent fighter, but I feel Barboza's experience will reign through here. We'll see. We're in store for a good one. The fight that you definitely don't want to miss. I'm amped for it, honestly. You think Giga's going to TKO Barboza? Okay, we got some interesting differences in the plays there. But hey, may the best man win it. I think that the winner of this fight is very close to title shot. Yeah, Barboza's high level, man. Good shit, man. Good shit overall with this card. I'm actually really grateful that we have a good card this week. No offense to last week's card. It wasn't bad. But I just feel like this week's card, for me, is better. I'm more excited about it. I liked the Cannonier Gastelum card, but I didn't feel that same edge of excitement, man. Maybe it's because, neither guy I really see as potential title challenger, whereas Barboza versus Chikadze is high stakes. I mean, the winner of that fight is getting close because Barboza's got the legacy and Chikadze's got the hype. So may the best man win it. We're in store for something special. I really do believe that. I think Barboza is a monster at 145. He's special at 45. Yeah, Barboza's kicks are nasty, man. I think that the way Barboza throws his punches, there is definitely a bit more fat on them, you could say. Giga's a little bit more like slick with the precise movements, but I think that the overwhelming attack and also the lateral speed, I think it's faster on the side of Barboza from being more used to mixed martial arts striking. Yeah, good for Gilmore, man. I'm glad to see him get the fight. The Turcios versus Brady fight is going to be a fight of the night behind the main, you think? Yeah. Dude, I am so excited to see Brady Hiestand versus Ricky Turcios, man. Oh, I love the tough fights, man. The Ultimate Fighter being back makes me happy, man. It's a special event. Adesanya always shows Cannonier lots of respect. I think Adesanya would fight Cannonier, but I don't think that he has much of a chance versus Adesanya. I think Adesanya picks him apart. He's not touching Giga like that in round one. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I was rewatching that fight earlier today, interestingly enough. I think Barboza's going to look good. I think he's going to come out with a good pace, and I think he's going to be able to pull off a dub over Chikadze. But may the best man win, because either way, I think both these guys are great for the weight class. But guys, if you haven't yet, smash the hell out of that like button, man. Am I doing contender stuff? Dude, I'm definitely going to be doing Contender Series picks. I'll probably throw up like a quick Contender Series video, and I'll probably throw them up maybe on Saturdays, something like that. I'll have them out. I'll have them out before Tuesday. I'll have them out before Monday, really, and I don't want to put them as the same day as UFC, so I'll probably throw them up maybe a Saturday morning. We'll put the Contender Series picks up. Definitely. Those plays are all over the place, but I can't wait for it. And I know some of you guys will be very interested. So, yeah, we'll do Contender Series. We're doing it all, man. Barboza, the way through the knee to knock out Dariush, that was next level, man. I think Whitaker really is the only shot. You are right. But I don't think he wins either. Barboza's going to KO Giga. I don't know if he KOs him, but I think he pulls off a dub. Much love, guys. So tomorrow, PFL predictions are dropping. Gonna do the full card breakdown for that. Should be a lot of fun. Then, if there's time in the week, I might potentially throw LFA out there. So keep your eyes unlocked. We might do that. And then I also have to do this week's best MMA bets. Like, of course, we have to go for it. Would you say Barboza is durable? I still think he is. Hey, I'm glad you love the stream, my brother Hype MMA. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody watching live. I might say everybody's name down the list, but there's a lot of you in here. But much love, guys. It is very much appreciated, man. You found me from Lock? Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you found me, bro. Much love to you. When is the next Contender Series? Anyone know? It's not this Tuesday. It's next Tuesday. So I'll throw out some Contender Series picks, but I doubt I'll be live for the Contender Series to do like a companion because I do have some stuff that I've committed to around that same time on Tuesdays. But we'll always be with the fight companions for the higher level leagues and whatnot. But much love, guys. I appreciate everybody for being here. Smash the hell out of that like button. I am about to sign off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get at least 190 likes up in here. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. If you know somebody that might like the content too, share them a link and let them know. But much love, my people. Tuning out. Have a great night, everybody. Peace, guys.